Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good day. That's right. Today I'm actually going to paint a miniature that I printed on my Ender 3 K3 V3, something like that. Anyways, it's a mouthful every single time. I put it at 1mm. I used hyper PLA, super high temperature to try and get the best layer possible for this. Yes, there are a lot of layer lines still that are showing, and then I was hoping with the brush on primer with the gray it would kind of fill in that, but then someone actually told me that to fill in some of those gaps and all that, to make it a little bit more smooth, I could have sanded it, but I don't have a tiny little sander to be able to do this, or I could have used a spray can. And it's because the spray cans are a little bit thicker, right? So I could have used a very thick gray primer. Plus there's not a ton of details on this miniature. And by the way, I'm not going to make it a habit of printing on my FDM printer for miniatures because I like more printing terrain and game storage stuff and all that. I just really want to test it and show you guys that yes, it is possible. There's a few settings you got to tweak and so on and so forth. But I mean, it turned out pretty good. I mean, like I said, there's not a ton of details, but fun to paint nonetheless. This is a hooded wanderer. I found this, I think it was on Thingiverse. I'm not 100% sure. I did a search for miniatures for FDM printing with no supports required. There was no supports on this guy, and you can see he printed out very well. Now when he dries off, you can still see some of the lines on there. And again, I'm using the Warpaints Fanatics because again, they cover so well and so smoothly. I was hoping again that just having a little extra layer on top was going to make them disappear, these lines, but not entirely, right? Like it's never going to disappear entirely, but it's there in case, you know, it's just anyways. But when it's far on the table, you barely even see it. Like when I'm looking at the miniature while recording this, I have them set up on my table here. I'm looking at them and it's not even noticeable, those lines. Sorry about that, those lines. And I find it looks fun, and I could use this in D&D if I wanted to, or you know, just for anyways. Again, this is not a typical miniature I paint, not a board game, nothing like that. So it's kind of fun though, and it makes me test again my layering, my, you know, not really, because all I'm doing some highlights on it with the ash gray here on top of the other gray I used a while ago, and just having fun with the Warpaints Fanatics, because again, there are some skeptics out there that don't really think that they're great. They don't cover very well. I am just blown away by how it does cover. Matte black for inside there, the hood, just to make it really dark. Wolf gray now to highlight the raised areas of the cloak here. Again, just enjoying using these Warpaints Fanatics. I've loved them so far. I don't see any negatives really, except for maybe the metallics are a little bit more washed down that I would like, and a little less bright that I would have liked. But other than that, I find their paint line is amazing. I am not disappointed about the complete set. It gives me so much choice of colors. I don't have to worry about adding black or white to the paints. You know, I don't have to worry about, okay, which, you know, if I take a purple and I want a dark purple, but then I want a little bit lighter, do I add pink to it? Do I add a light blue to it? Do I add yellow? Like, I never know what to do with those cases. But having the 6 flexible triads in one color, and then also some more, usually sometimes before and after, you can take the grays that are a little bit lighter after and do some stuff with that. And I find that comes in really nicely. We're actually just washing this miniature with a whole bunch of washes now. Again, the washes, amazing from this line, especially the darker ones. Like the blue one is kind of boring, doesn't do very much, but the dark blue tone here does a great job. And the dark tone, as you can see, like those highlights were bright, but as I'm putting it on, it darkened them down and really blended them into his robes there. And there you have it, folks. Within a little time, you can have fun printing out a 3D miniature and have them painted up and have fun with it, just to test out some paint. Sometimes you don't want to use like your real miniatures. Well, this is a good way to do it. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next one.